Yes, dear ones, this is Tara, and what a pleasure it is to be with you today. Certainly so. And so we took a moment to convene with higher selves to see what is the order of the day. As you have been receiving so much new energy from the earth movements, from the weather and climate, from the political and economic activities that you are focused on. They are for you to gather. It is for your purpose of becoming more, of expanding who you are being. The extra energy is a representation of your growth, of your expansion. And that energy can be directed into something specific that you want to create for yourself and for your world, if that is your focus. In order to show up in your authority, you must first claim your authority. Certainly so. With the chauvinism, it has been difficult to do so and be at ease, to be comfortable. For embedded in the chauvinism is that dictate that it must be combined with domination. So when you take your authority back, there's often that saying, do unto others as they have done unto you. And so it begins. But free of the chauvinism, that is no longer the case. In dominion, the being you are generates the resonance. And the resonance you exude, that you embody, creates something new. Can be with harm to none, can be of love rather than control, can be of peace rather than fear. What does it take to set down the fear? What does it take to set down the control? That is the domain of the lesser self. That is the you that survived in chauvinism, in domination. The child and the adolescent that grew up in those resonances, knowing this is not who I am, aware, how can I belong to this that excludes me automatically, that has me feel worth less, so that I am compelled to earn my right to exist. Each of you aware, yes, that was in my past. I have grown. I have changed. I have become more than I was. I have healed so very much of that past. My child, new parents, knew a new reality. My adolescent, free of shame and pain. It is important to know that you are safe. And that true safety never was achieved outside of the self. It only appeared once you connected to your inner realm, to higher self, to soul, to spirit, and God and Goddess. For you began to see that you are an important participant. That when you withdraw your energy, the reality changes. And so it's important to show up differently, to be more of who you truly are, to have that positive impact, to bring the love and the light that you are. It is not just words. It is resonance. You recognize it when you encounter it in your world, in others. You know love. You are drawn to the light. It is who you are. Does not mean that you cannot navigate other resonances, that you don't know what to do, how to respond or respect the energies that you encounter. You have learned so very much on this journey. But what would it be to anticipate positivity, to anticipate that whatever response you have will create something new that is for you? That it isn't about surviving any longer. It can be. For many, that is a comfortable zone to exist in. I'll complain about it, but I don't want to change it. You see this in others, and you wonder, how can they continue to exist for only survival when they could have creativity or passion or intensity or connection? And you judge yourself when you withdraw into yourself, doubting yourself, wondering why it's not working. It being your magic, it being your love, it being connecting more. Because you see, you default to thinking you are causal rather than a recipient of resonance. It's a tricky thing, this language you have. It's very linear. Even when we say the future is creating the present against the backdrop of the past, it's linear except backwards from what you learned. And yet it doesn't really work that way. There is only truly resonance. And in that resonance, energies ignite within you. You are resonance, a being of light and love first and foremost. And if you were to strip away the fear and the control, you would see that more clearly. If you would be willing to know that love is enough, that the love that you are is good enough, it would change your direction in an instant. And you have done so. We're not talking about some one day, someday. Each of you have had that experience. In some, it was in the realm of romantic love. For others, it was in the birth of a child. For others, it was a friendship. So instant, souls recognizing each other. Each of the examples, souls recognizing each other. I am not alone. I am seen. I am known. I exist. And you do that for others as well. It is part of your commitment to the physical plane. If I'm going to be in this dimensional world called the physical plane, I want to know that I have impact. I want to be seen and known for who I am. This was proclaimed before you entered the physical plane. And as you let that in, you're constantly measuring, how am I doing now? Am I visible enough? Am I loving enough? Am I good enough? And when you allow yourself to lift the judgments and know that you are enough and that you are good enough, the chauvinism will deny you that. Will say, no, you can always do better. You can always be better. You should earn it. First, you have to earn the right. That's the chauvinism speaking. It is what you learned from your environment. It was given to you as a limitation. But it wasn't given to you by God and Goddess. It was you who designed it, not consciously, but purposefully. If I can know who I am by stripping away limitations and shackles I put in place, then I will know that I am real, that I have grown, that I have changed, that I am conscious, that I am awake, that I have purpose, that I am connected. So important to your journey is this connection and purpose that you, even in the chauvinism, there is language for it. You have a soul, your soul's purpose, your soul mates, soul this, soul that, could not be disguised, could not be hidden from you, has always been a shining beacon of hope for you. Because your soul is eternal, because your soul is not downstepped energy of God Goddess, because your soul is you, the more of who you truly are, the more of who your higher self truly is. Your soul exists in all that is. As you let that in, this is all me on some level. Even that which I do not like, even that which I reject. There are ancient rituals around forgiveness in the Huna and other practices. Most religions have some form of forgiveness. We approach forgiveness a little differently because within the chauvinism, Forgiveness implies unforgivable until you are forgiven by some outside force. But for us, we see the change in you. True forgiveness is giving up the way that you see reality to allow a new version to enter into your purview. I don't have to hold on to this perspective anymore. I don't have to hate. I can be different. I could approach this topic with love. That is forgiveness in action. Giving way for a new way of being. Because you see, you are the resonance that dictates your experience. It's your being, your fixed being in any given moment that dictates what's out here. And when you let that in, that it's as easy to change what's out here as it is to be conscious of who you're being, then giving way to something new becomes not just once in a while, but becomes a daily activity that you enjoy. And in that is the authority, is the knowing I am the creator, not alone. Only the ego would demand that you think you created it all by yourself. Your soul is expressed in everything, but soul is not disconnected. Soul is eternally connected to God and Goddess. And God and Goddess are eternally connected to something more. As you let that in, that this evolution that you are a part of is critical to your consciousness. That you are here with purpose, your purpose. Yes, it is in alignment with your higher self's purpose. It is in alignment with your soul's purpose. It is in alignment with the goddess's purpose. Free will is part of that exploration. What if I will it differently? What if I make some changes? What if I create something new? What if I co-create something new? All of this is part of a range of exploration. You have spent decades, perhaps, resisting, testing. What if I will it differently from my higher self, from my soul? What if I align with their will? What's the difference? Is it important? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's more important to show up in your individuality for the evolution of your consciousness. And so as you lift any shame, as you lift any judgments around doing it your way, and know that it has always been for you, and you cannot get it wrong. There is no right way to live life. There is only your way. And when you let that be a higher truth, then you begin to activate self-awareness and gather of the worth that is given, gather of the love that is given, and allow that love and worth to be a part of your residence in every moment. Your divinity is who you truly are. And yet it is your humanity that is adding value by questioning, by exploring, in your curiosity, in your exploration, in the feedback you are giving up the line, so to speak. That's what's important. And so today, let's do a meditation to celebrate you and the journey you have been on so that you can reactivate some of that, we would say, pride of ownership. Allowing yourself to know, even when I'm not really sure what I'm doing because I don't have language for it, I'm adding value. So important to really recognize that about yourself. It's a form of self-love. And so when you're ready, just lean back or lie down and gently close your eyes as you breathe in a gentle breath of relaxation. On the exhale, release the stress and strain from your day. Breathing in more relaxation. Feel the energy swirling within you, down your shoulders, down your chest, flowing down your arms, out your fingertips, flowing quickly down past your belly, past your hips, down your legs. With each breath, more relaxation enters your body and swirls the energy, releasing any stress or strain from your day as the energy flows past your knees and ankles and out your feet, filling your auric field with relaxation like a cocoon of relaxation. Breathing in more relaxation. For some of you, it comes as light. For some of you, it comes as air, as space, as peace. Whatever it is for you, relaxation is essential to bringing balance to your spirit and your physicality. And so breathe in another breath of relaxation. On the exhale, release that last bit of stress or strain. Release any energies that aren't yours. So empathic, so easy to pick up stuff from others. It is a loving act, but only if you continue to turn it over to someone more. And so turn over anything you've taken on from others to your higher self, who's well equipped to handle it, so that you do not shift your resonance from being loving to being whatever energy you picked up. And so just breathe it out. Turn it over to your higher self. Ask them to lift it. And relax those judgments. Because you are being someone positive for that person who you helped, who didn't have the tools that you have. We will count from 10 to 1. With each descending number, you'll go deeper and deeper into an altered state of mind we call meditation. Continue your breathing gently in and out. We will count from 10 to 1. At the count of 1, you'll find yourself in your safe place. Your safe place may be a beautiful place in nature, or a room of your own design. Beautiful, familiar, and safe. And so we count 10, 9, 8, going deeper, letting go, 7, 6, 5. Begin to sense safety around you. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You are there. Feel the tingles on the soles of your feet as the earth energy rises up to greet you, swirling around you and within you, grounding you in safety. As you open your mental eyes, see what safety is made of for you. Perhaps you notice first the colors, bright or dim. Perhaps the light of day or night, your favorite time. Let it be so. It is your safe place. Perhaps it's the boundary, near or far. Notice if it has changed. Doesn't need to change, but sometimes it adjusts to who you are being, always. Invite your higher self to join you in your safe place. There, at the edge of safety, a beautiful being of light appears. Or perhaps your higher self comes in personified form, familiar to you. As you approach each other in greeting, feel the love, the unconditional love your higher self has for you. As your heart opens wide, your mind expands. Perhaps you embrace or hold hands or just be together, whatever is your way. And you notice in your safe place some of the treasures you have gathered from your many journeys with higher self. A beautiful crystal, a mantle of magic, a staff of power, symbols, sigils, a message from your dreamer, a blueprint from your Syrian magician, and many other things you have gathered, meaningful to you, that reflect more of who you truly are, the multi-dimensionality. And so today, your higher self has been thinking of how important it is for you to recognize who you truly are and what would be the best way. And so they have an adventure in mind. And so they lead you onto a path beyond safety. You're not sure you are ready for this to be revealed, but even so, you choose to step across the boundary of safety. And as you take that step, following higher self beyond safety, you feel the shift in the resonance, the energy, a shift from safety into excitement, perhaps. Perhaps you feel it as a sensation, tingles on your skin. Perhaps you feel it in your mind as though your curiosity has been sparked. Perhaps you feel it as nerves in the pit of your stomach, and your higher self says, just let it go. We are here to tend to you. You can lean on us. And so let yourself lean. Let yourself just be at peace. What does it mean that there is more to you than meets the eye? As you walk, your higher self will begin to talk about their experience of you. They may begin with stories of childhood, the bright spark that you are. And just listen and let the memories come of the beautiful moments that reflect who you truly are. There may be one or two, perhaps more, but it's all right if it's just one or two. It's enough to let you know that you are seen, that you are here with purpose, that the longings that you had, even as a small child, were about the more real, guiding you, helping you navigate the physicality, the confusion, the panic, the doubt, and even the shame that might have been there. But you always had a quality. You knew you were different from the average person. You're not average at all. And in some ways, you felt shame about that. Ask your higher self to lift that shame. Because you see, it was by choice. I have to know who I am. It's critical to the next expansion. Before I can grow, I have to take back my authority. I have to know who I am and who I am not. And as your higher self lifts any last residue of shame around being different, around being not average, also perhaps not special, but perhaps exceptional, in whatever way you felt different. There was an automatic shame. Let it be lifted. It's not needed anymore. Doesn't add value to who you are becoming. And just feel it like some sort of mist or cords or threads coming out of you, strings of negativity, perhaps some goo oozing out. However it exits, see it, let it be tangible. This is leaving me now. Feel the lightness of being that comes from having those different shames lifted. I don't need them anymore. I can give them over to you, higher self, for something new, a new understanding of who I am. And let them be lifted. Your higher self takes the bucket or the basket or gathers up the string into a ball, and with a wave of a hand turns it into light. It was just energy, but you need it in the form of light. And so now that that has been lifted, let's walk a little further. The path is meandering this way or that. You're not sure where you're going. Some of it looks familiar briefly, but then the terrain changes once more. And you feel you have to be on your toes. You need to be on track to keep up with your higher self. And they ask you to remember a time when you felt a sense of purpose. You might have to go back fairly far before you gave up hope of achieving it. Or perhaps you're in the midst of resurrecting your purpose, and there is an excitement about it. And yet, the backdrop still has disappointments. Reasons why not. Competition, exclusion, not fitting in, not knowing how to do it your way rather than the world's way. Can be a holdup, for certain. Allow your higher self to show you where your weakness lies. What has you decide? I can't go any further. What triggers the fear? And what is the fear about? It is unique to you. Is it about being excluded? Is it about being seen? Is it about being not good enough, no matter how hard you try? Is it around perfection? I'll never be perfect. Why bother? Thinking that perfection is the goal. A reasonable misunderstanding, and yet it is a misunderstanding that needs to be faced. As you're walking, your higher self is bringing forth memories or resonances that help you remember your resistance. What stops you? What has you think that you're foolish for wanting to try again? Usually, someone else's voice is in your head. Perhaps your father or your mother or a teacher or a friend who you trust is letting you know that the point. You should just settle. Settle for what everyone else settles for, whatever that is. And just having that thought, the light goes out. It dims. And the secret that you are more stays with you. As you're walking, your higher self invites you to share the burden of disappointment, of sorrow, of failures, of the cost of staying invisible, not rising up. And yet, your higher self understands in the chauvinism, it wasn't possible to succeed in dominion with harm to none, with elegance and ease. The world is changing because of you. Let us carry the weight of the past. Let us lighten your load. And as you walk, you begin to feel that lightness. You don't know why, you don't know exactly what you gave up, but your higher self has taken something from you that was not yours, not your burden to carry. Up ahead is a clearing. You may find yourself at the standing stones. You may find yourself at a pool where a beautiful waterfall flows and casts rainbows and mist. You may find yourself at a magnificent mill. Wherever you find yourself, step into the center. If you were at the pool, you might have to get wet. But your higher self is there. You are perfectly safe. And so just step into the pool and get closer to the water. Let it mist you with dew. If you found yourself at a giant mill, make your way first in one direction, then the other, till you make your way to the center. If you found yourself in the standing stones, move to the center so that you're aware of all of them, so they each have impact upon you through resonance. Allow yourself to be at peace. And your higher self invites you to call upon the elements, for that is who you are. Perhaps you begin with earth, if that is your element. Feel the connection to earth consciousness. Feel the gratitude for being physical at this time. When your presence can make the difference because of who you are and what you see is possible because of who you are being, that this is an illusion. It restores freedom to others in your world, restores it within you first, and it is reflected in your world. Call upon the water. Perhaps you are standing in the water and it just simply flows around you. A silky flow, so wonderful, so healing. Immerse yourself in water. If you're not in the pool, if you are instead on the mill or in the standing stone, allow the weather to bring rain, a gentle rain. You can step between the drops if you don't like to get wet. You have learned to do so. Open your arms wide. Welcome the water, the healing balm. The movement of water helps flow the energies, helps stir the emotions, and release them. Invite the next element, the air. The beautiful air swirls around you, lifting, drying you, perhaps, lifting you, lifting your spirit, bringing joy. The air brings that higher perspective, helps you see the bigger picture, activates your spirit. And as the air gently sets you down, the fire comes. Perhaps a little flame that flickers as though it is speaking to you. Perhaps your element is fire, in which case you might have a bonfire. Something stronger, something more than average. The fire burns up the energies that are no longer needed. Just turn it over. Any jealousy or envy, any pain or shame, any anger or resentment, just turn it over to the fire. The fire will consume anything you feed it with. Negative thoughts that limit you, judgments, whatever's there that you don't need, let the fire consume it. And as it's consumed, you feel the space within you. There's now a clearing, a new space to become something new. And the fire diminishes down to a flame and then out. Available anytime you call, but now it's time to look up. Wherever you stand, look up and notice a single star twinkling. And you feel at home. You feel it is calling to you, calling you to come home. Invite a beam of light and down it comes, surrounding you and higher self like a tractor beam of light. So beautiful. In that light, become aware of the love that you are. Your higher self drops in some new dreams, new visions. Activate some healing energies that will facilitate your growth, your expansion. Brings forth new connection, a depth of connection to the unseen realm. More vivid dreaming. Whatever it is you're asking for, your higher self is making that happen with harm to none, with elegance and ease. The process takes as long as it takes. And when it is done, you find yourself lying in your safe place. Don't know how you got there. Don't know how you returned. You just know you were gone all night. And by morning, you were returned safely to your safe place. Let yourself feel the lightness of being, the space that was created for something new. Let yourself become curious about what is new, what is brand new, the gifts from higher self. Your higher self helps you up and says their goodbyes. It's time to return. And so they move to the edge of safety to return to their realm, keeping an eye on you, of course. They always do. They are never far. And you prepare to return to the here and now. At the count of 5, you will be back. At the count of 5, remembering all that is appropriate. We will count from 1 to 5. With each number, you will return a little bit more until at the count of 5, you are back feeling vibrantly alive. 1, 2, returning. 3, sense your fingers and your toes, wiggle them about a bit. 4 and 5, open your eyes.